Genius for life. Coconut smoothies coming at you. Hello there. Welcome to episode 105 of 15 Minutes of Genius. I am your host, Alex Bear, sometimes genius, sometimes not, but either way, I'm your host. We bring great people on this program. We bring like entrepreneurs, we bring investors, we bring advisors. We've had NBA players on this podcast. We've had Patrick Schwarzenegger, who is like this awesome guy. Love that guy. So yeah, we bring really awesome people. But I think like what's great about the show is people share their stories about their brand, their product, the triumphs, the struggles, how they've broken through all that. That's what's really inspiring of those stories. So we'll definitely be continuing to dig much deeper into these interviews and really get to know the people and get to know their business and who they are. So, big plug to Mark Nicholas, Mark N. at ManhattanBeachStudios.net. There he is. He's digging real deep into a dream right now. Aw, na 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 na. Okay, we should put some music in post-edit of like lullaby. All right. Do I need to make a plug for this man? His body language says it all. He's a hard worker. All right. So our guest, Kellie Lee, she is the creator and CEO of Rowdy Bars. So a little bit about the product. This is so short and sweet. You're going to love this. Kellie is the creator and CEO of Rowdy Bars. They don't follow the pack. They are a bar above the rest. Kellie, how are you?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Doing really good, really good. So what's funny is we had kind of a 15 minutes of pre-genius before this taping, just chatting, getting to know each other. Sometimes, people hop on a little early. She was a few minutes early and we had some time to chat, and it was cool to get to know her. So it's cool. It helps me in the interview process just to ask the right questions. And so really great chatting. And we're going to basically talk about what we just talked about and also more. So
Awesome.
Are you ready? Let's go into it.
I'm ready. 100%.
So now that I know everything about your company and your product, so talk about, I guess, first off, the story. There's a hero ingredient in your product, which I don't think I've seen any other bar really make their hero ingredient. And it has a lot of major benefits. And again, many bars don't have this, if any. So tell us more about this hero ingredient and also a little bit about how actually you started the company as well.
Okay. So the hero ingredient is the Yacon Root. I started this company because I was having digestive health issues, and my husband and I are backpackers, and I wanted to create a snack that I could eat that wouldn't upset my stomach. So I was getting rid of all kinds of different ingredients and doing basically eliminating diet, I guess, where I was eliminating things. And I came across the Yacon Root, started baking with it. I noticed my digestive health was getting better, and I felt a whole slew of health benefits kind of coming from it. With that being said, I developed this bar that became the dream bar that I would take backpacking. And my husband would say, "Are you going to bring the dream bar this weekend?" And one thing led to another. I ended up making the bars for my family, and I had a sister say, "You should sell these." And so I got a cottage food permit, started making them out of my kitchen. One thing led to another. In 2017, we found a co-packer, and we launched into the market with a co-packer in January of 2018. We also use a lot of other superfoods. We don't use any natural flavors or artificial flavoring. We have zero sugar alcohols. We try to pride ourselves on being one of the cleanest bars that you're going to find on the market. We're soy-free, gluten-free, non-GMO. We're working on our third-party certification as we speak. And we have 5 flavors, and we pride ourselves on looking for clean, wholesome ingredients that will nourish your body. So it's a snack that will actually nourish your body.
It's great. Yeah, and the story is, I can relate. Like, I've had digestive challenges in the past as well, and like I have to be very careful about what ingredients, what kind of products that I'm eating and consuming every single day. And I've been like, I drive my wife crazy. It's like I narrow it down for date night to like, when there is a date night, when I can actually like get away from the laptop, to like 3 restaurants. And if we go outside of those restaurants, I don't even eat half the time, and I'm like, but I'm watching you eat. Like I tell her, don't worry, sweet, I'm watching you eat. So anyway, I can relate to the digestive issues, and it can be really aggravating by having the wrong product. So it's really inspiring that like you created this out of a personal need for just something that that your body agrees with. So I think that's a great story. Yeah.
Well, thank you very much.
Yeah. So with that,
been fun.
Yeah. And you launched in 2018, even though this has been like a longer journey of like 4 or 5 years of like developing this. So what made you like take the plunge? You're like, okay, I'm going to take this from a freaking, what'd you call it? The magic bar? What, magic bar?
The dream bar.
The dream bar.
Well,
yeah.
So that's what my husband would call it. And so we actually looked it up to see if we could trademark it, and it was already taken. So we had to find a new name. Mm-hmm. And we ended up coming up with Rowdy Bar while we were backpacking. We were like, what is it that makes you feel, what's that feeling you get when you eat something that gives you the nourishment that you need, where you don't feel like you're hurting yourself? Like, it's not like a Snickers bar where you might have a really great hike and you eat a Snickers bar and you're like, I did that great hike for nothing. Right. This was a bar where you're like, I had that great hike, I nourished my body, but my mind, and now I'm going to nourish my insides with eating something that's healthy and nutritious. So we, what helped me decide to take it to the market is, I did the cottage food permit for about a year, doing it out of my kitchen. At the time, I worked at a hospital, a local hospital. I was a marketing director for their wellness program and their fitness center. And so I started kind of testing the market, and it turned out that I was making 10 batches a week, working full time and getting my MBA. And decided, okay, I think I need to take this to a co-packer because I can't keep up with the demand. And that's when we started looking for a co-packer. And I started reading books because I knew nothing about the industry. It was like something that I knew I wanted for myself. And then I felt like, well, I could share this with other people, and other people were seeing a benefit from it. We also had, where I worked, we had a cancer rehab facility. And so a lot of the cancer rehab patients were able to eat the bar also. And a lot of them had gluten intolerance and, celiacs, Crohn's, IBS. And our bar was agreeing with them, and they were able to eat it. So when I saw the benefit that these other people were getting from the product, I was like, we got to take this further. And that's when we found a co-packer in 2017, and we decided to launch and go for it.
Makes a huge difference as well. Just getting to and for entrepreneurs that are watching, it's if you can bring in your manufacturing, God bless you. I mean, it's a lot of money, it's a lot of stress, but you have full control, over the product. Yeah. But then the flip side of that is that if you find the right co-packer or, a strategic partner, they're going to make your product the way you want to, which is what it sounds like you found based on the quality of your product and how it tastes, and also with like us with Genius Juice. And so that really like unlocks your time to focus on the sales, the marketing, raising capital, all these things. So what is next for the brand? I want to get into the Whole Foods thing and also the launch as well. But what is next? You have 5 flavors. You're going into Whole Foods. Tell us more about your launch there. And I think that's some exciting stuff coming up.
Sure. Absolutely. So we launched with Whole Foods in August with our 3 original flavors. So our chocolate coconut cashew, our sunflower butter and berries, and our peanutty dark chocolate.
Congratulations. And huge.
Thank
huge.
you.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were really excited about it. Something just to kind of give you an idea of how much I didn't understand the industry. When we launched in January 2018, I looked at an old business plan and I said Whole Foods by August 2018. And I had no idea like how long it actually took to get into a retailer like Whole Foods. So it's kind of funny that I had this dream, and here we are 4 years later, I'm finally there. That's kind of exciting. And it gives me the goosebumps just talking about it. And now we get to share our product with Whole Foods consumers. What's next for Rowdy Bars is we have the 5 SKUs. we're always going to be continuously perfecting them, because I feel like, we'll listen to our customers' feedback. We want to hear from them. We want to see what they want. So we're constantly re-innovating our current flavors, always looking for ways to improve. But we also are working on a rebrand. So this is really exciting. We're planning to launch the rebrand in January, if all goes well. And then also this year, right in the midst of a pandemic, we launched our first line extension. We have a new product. So we launched our collagen protein powder.
Oh,
so
wow.
So we have a whole new line of powders that we're going to be introducing to the market. So we're hoping to get that out next year. And so that's kind of what we have in the pipeline right now.
Very cool. Very cool. You actually tripped me out for a second, because to your left, I thought that was, again, it's on a monitor, so it's hard to see like what it is. But I thought it was like a filing cabinet in the corner. And then when you and I thought the bag was on the ground like 20 feet away from you, and then you just like turned around and grabbed it. I'm just like, this is like something out of like one of those, psychedelic movies or something, where like things are not what they appear. That's really, that's funny. So I'm like, wow, she grabbed the bag. It was right there, like right behind her. So that's really cool. And it shows that, and we talked about this offline, is like the persistence, right? The fact that you had this dream, you wanted to get into a retailer, you worked extremely hard, but it took more time than you thought. And I think what you've learned, and what also I've learned, with Genius Juice, is that things take about 2 to 3 times longer than you think, and are probably 2 to 3 times more expensive. So I've been much more careful with my projections, when giving it to investors and, going in for a series raise, where just be realistic, be down to earth. And if you surpass your goals, great. But if you have these high goals that are just unrealistic and in the clouds, and then you fall short of that, it just doesn't it just doesn't look very good to anyone who may want to put money in the company. So 100%. So I
always say, under promise, over perform.
That's the way to do it. That is the way to do it. And very well said. So it's cool. And then we talked about the story with Whole Foods, where it does take time, but the rebrand. Now, let's go into the rebrand as well. So I think it's very interesting that what spurred this rebrand? Was it the fact that you're getting into bigger stores? And then what's kind of the strategy for entrepreneurs watching, like, what they can learn from that may be thinking about rebranding? What are you going to be focusing on in this rebrand? Is it to make it more clean? Is it to go with more benefits? Like, what do you think? Where is the market going, and what do people want to see on the package?
So what made us decide on doing a rebrand is we felt like our packaging had a lot going on. And we did get that feedback from a couple of buyers. But we have so many health benefits that we wanted to call them all out. And we were really excited about them all. So it was like, how do you leave one out over the other? Well, what we've learned over the years is that there are specific call outs that are going to hit our specific demographic. So the people that we know that typically like our bar are going to repurchase. We started paying attention to what they were drawn to, like what call outs were they drawn to and why. And so that strategy helped us decide, okay, these are the important call outs that we need to put on our packaging, and why we need to put them on our packaging. And so that helped us decide that, maybe we're just a little too busy. Let's get focused and let's do a rebrand. So that's kind of the strategy and the idea behind why we decided to go with the rebrand. And I also believe that, now that we're getting into these larger retailers, we want something that people are going to see on the shelf and they're going to be like, what's that? And they're going to be curious about it. Why did they do that kind of thing? And so that also helped get us to this point of a rebrand.
Exactly. Well, something that I'm sure you've thought of already, granted that I think you're strategic in everything that you're doing here. But what it really helped us is that, going to the store, like let's say a Whole Foods or even a Vons or an Albertsons. But I like to take one photo in natural and one photo in conventional. High-res photo, the entire shelf, pull it up on my iPad or my computer and just look at it and stare at it for like, because I would look like a freak staring at the shelf for like an hour in the store. So I can't do that. But just pull it up at home and you look at what is working, right? Like what is your eye going to and why? So I urge you in the rebrand, since you're now kind of entering into this and you're going to be spending, head down 3-4 months on this before launching it. Just it has to excite the emotional side as well as the logical side. And what I've learned is people buy on emotion. I think it's a very well-known fact. There's rationalization, like when they're, this is good for me. This has great ingredients. This is low sugar. This has all these benefits and superfoods. But at the end of the day, what drives them to pick it up and put in their cart is the emotion that is instilled in them from the packaging. So I definitely urge you to make it like really unique, different, disruptive, which is a word that's been thrown around too much. And have fun. Like do something that really represents the spirit of the brand and also your spirit, right? You and your husband and the founders. So, yeah.
I love that. Thank you so much for that advice, because we're down to 2 logos and one of them is totally like off the wall. And I'm like, I kind of like that. It gets you asking questions. And so hearing that advice kind of helps me even move closer to that side.
Exactly. And I'm a big fan of characters as well.
Oh, yeah. I know. I love it.
Characters. Like I can see like a head going through the R, or whatever. Like, I don't know. Like there's all these funny things you think of, like someone being rowdy, and maybe something, I don't know. It could be a character just like slamming 2 things together on the package. Like, we're rowdy. This is, So having fun with it is going to be key. Right. And then also, but having it's fun and also premium. How do you get those 2 things together, right? And I think like, there's brands that like in the bar category, it's interesting, like Midday Squares, like it's premium looking, but also they have fun with it at the same time. Yeah, so it's that balance. They are. It's hard to do, but it can be done.
Right. Yeah. Absolutely. I love your fun, the icon and the faces. I think it's great. I watched your podcast with the dude wipes. Yep. And one of the benefits of our bars are the prebiotics, right? So it aids in digestion. And I was cracking up with the poop and how many times you could say poop. And so I was like, we need to have that with us, because this will actually help you go poop.
And it gets pretty rowdy in the bathroom, Yeah. All right. Moving on to another subject. So let's get into it. This is called Rapid Fire Questions. Rapid Fire Questions. All right. So we have a bunch of questions, and hopefully you have the answers. I think you will. So are you ready?
Yes.
All right. Here we go. So as quickly as you can, whatever comes to your mind first. For music, which decade is best, the 70s, 80s, or 90s?
80s.
Finally, someone has said 80s. The last 7 freaking podcasts, not to complain about them, because the 90s are good. Yeah. But you cannot beat the 80s. You cannot beat it. The electronica, the hard rock, and Prince and all that, and Michael Jackson, Metallica. I mean, can't beat it. Thank you. Finally. It took 7 episodes for someone to say the truth. All right. What do you do for exercise? Hiking, right?
I thought there was going to be a or B, but no, I get up in the morning and I do my cardio, and then in the evenings I usually lift weights.
There you go. Wow. And then hiking on the weekends, right?
And hiking on the weekends. We do a lot of hiking.
Love it. Love it. So movie you can watch an unlimited amount of times.
Step Brothers.
Step Brothers. That's the second, I think that's the 3rd time someone said Step Brothers.
Oh, really? That one just came to my head instantly.
Yeah. Patrick Schwarzenegger, same thing. Step Brothers. Yeah.
The other one that I can watch a lot is Spaceballs.
That one's great. Yeah. Are we on right now? Yes. Like right now? Yes, sir, right now.
Right now?
Yeah. Right now, right now? No,
Right
that was
now
a second
is
ago.
happening.
But now that's now.
I
So
love
good.
that. I quote it constantly.
Yeah, it's Pizza the Hut. Yeah.
Yes. And why are you preparing? You're always preparing. Just go.
Yeah. So good. It's a classic.
Yeah.
It's like cold classic.
Yes.
Chocolate or vanilla?
Chocolate.
Favorite country to travel to?
South Africa.
Got it. I was going to guess South America for, actually, I think it's in Central America, so I may be shooting myself in the foot. No, it's South America, Machu Picchu, right?
I haven't been there. I wanted to go to South America. I've been wanting to go to Patagonia for as long as I can remember. I even have it on my vision board. Just
There you
haven't
go.
made it there yet.
Love it. Well, things will get better, hopefully, worldwide, and
Yeah.
then back to traveling. What is your favorite Star Wars character?
Oh, Luke Skywalker.
There you go. So that's my favorite. Everyone says Yoda. Like, oh, the cute Yoda from Mandalorian. I'm like, dude, like Yoda was never that cute. Okay, the original
No.
Yoda is not that cute. He's wrinkly. He's old. He's very wise, but he's not like a little stuffed animal. Okay.
I actually forgot about Yoda for a second.
Good, because you said Luke Skywalker, right? He's the
Yeah, it was
he's the
pretty-
hero of the
yep.
film. Yeah. He
Yeah.
actually played Mark Hamill played the voice of the Joker in the Batman cartoon. So Mark Hamill is a huge voiceover guy that does voiceovers for different cartoons and action cartoons.
And I'm kind of wondering whatever happened to him because you don't really see him in a lot of movies.
If you look him up on IMDb, he does tons of like voiceovers, like
Okay,
in
I'll have to check
cartoons.
that out.
He loves to do like like villain voices and all that. It's very fascinating, and his voice is very like ha ha ha. Like he can go to that level. It's pretty cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah, go on YouTube and search like Mark Hamill voices, and you'll see an interview where he's like doing all these voices. All right, moving along because I'm talking too much. What is your spirit animal?
Dog.
Do you like to
that
drive?
count?
Yep. Oh yeah, for sure.
Okay,
Yeah.
good.
Yeah, I think it's Year of the Dog, and for Chinese New Year, I
Yeah.
believe. I could be wrong. So, do you like to drive an SUV, coupe, or truck?
Well, I have an SUV, so that's what I drive. But
There you go.
yeah,
It's Nevada.
a utilities car because I always am loading stuff. So
Yep. It's the perfect
Yeah.
car for an entrepreneur in the food and beverage business.
yes.
For food, salty or sweet?
Ooh, I would say salty.
Yep.
Yeah.
Favorite day of the week and why?
I would say Saturday.
Cool. Saturday's good.
Why? Because you're a little more relaxed than you were Friday, and you have one more day before it's Monday.
There you go. That's a great answer. Makes perfect sense. So, when you're not driving your SUV, do you take an Uber or a Lyft? Which one do you prefer?
I do Uber.
Yep. All right.
Yeah.
So, LeBron James or MJ? Which one's the greatest of all time, do you think? Or Kobe? I'm going to add Kobe to that list.
I'm gonna have to say Kobe. Who's MJ?
Michael Jordan.
Oh, Michael Jordan. Sorry. I am not. My husband could answer that question right away. I had to really think about that one.
we had a guest on. I'm gonna call her. I won't call her out, but she said MJ, like Michael Jackson. He played basketball. I'm like, oh god.
I do like Michael Jordan though too. So I don't know. I think they're all pretty rad.
They're all amazing. All right, last couple questions. Terminator 1 or Terminator 2?
I gotta go with Terminator 1.
Terminator 1. Okay, the classic. Okay, gotcha. Because Arnold Schwarzenegger's naked, right, in the very beginning.
Yeah, and he's young, right?
Yep, he's in his
Or younger.
younger. I think he's in
Yeah.
early 30s. He was like fresh off the Mr. Universe. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. I like the second one for a different reason, not relating to how Arnold Schwarzenegger looks. I like the movie and the plot better, but they're both excellent. Just want to go on record. Okay, so favorite food or drink if you're stuck on a deserted island, you cannot say Genius Juice, you cannot say Rowdy Bars.
So I'm gonna have to say water, just because I drink a gallon a day, So there's
Nice.
my big jug. But I think that's what I would need on a desert island, and I can find coconut on a desert island, right?
There you go. It's like Genius Juice, but from the coconut, one step closer. I love it.
Yes.
I can't argue with that. So, all right. So that is rapid fire questions with Kellie Lee, creator, CEO of Rowdy Bars. There's the crowd.
I love it. So funny.
You're getting pretty rowdy.
I love it.
All right. Well, Kellie, great, just fantastic story, inspiring, and really best of luck in the Whole Foods launch and all the demos you're doing, and hope to see it also in more regions. I'm sure that is coming. So, yeah. Yes. So thank you for being on episode 105 of 15 Minutes of Genius, and have a wonderful night.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it. Have a good night.
You too. And I'm going to go by the bar right after this. Yum. All right. So, again, that is episode 105 of 15 Minutes of Genius with Kellie Lee, creator and CEO of Rowdy Bars. Big plug to Mark Nicholas, Mark Enneman, HappyBeatStudios.net. Here it is. He also added his number. You're not going to do the 666 number, Mark? It's bad luck, right? Yeah, he has one number that has 666 in it. But he's using the better number, the 800, So, all right. So, again, episode 105 in the books. And one last thing, stay rowdy and genius, my friends.
Genius for life. Coconut smoothies coming at you.